So before Bungie actually started the TWID, they wanted to address some feedback regarding the portal changes from the last TWID. What they did is they undid the power reduction for solo ops, the reduction of engrams for the Encore, Starcrossed, and Whisper, and they also decided not to go through with the change for the prime engrams to require decryption at Rahul. They are going to buff the match-made fireteam ops time limits. For Expert, Master, and Grandmaster, it's a 25%, 50%, and 75% increase respectively. They're going to increase the amount of drops for Liminality, Inverted Spire, and the Widow's Court Onslaught. They're increasing the activities times for the Solo Pinnacle and Fireteam Ops. Fireteam Ops has a greater value for speed versus killing enemies. They're going to be removing Grappler from the Fireteam Ops matchmaking, and they're going to increase the amount of number of drops for a bunch of activities when Ashen Iron launches. They're going to be making it so that activities that drop more engrams have a higher chance for prime engrams to drop, and they're going to be working on making it so that, like, with, like, say, 400 to 450 power isn't such a slog. They also talk about some stuff from the last TWID, which is basically just Desert Perpetual changes, as well as changes to the portal and power grind stuff, as well as Conquest being replayable too. Basically, what they're trying to do is making it so that there isn't, like, a singular ops category that is, like, the absolute best for power grinding. And for, like, the probably first time in their entire history, they're actually going to buff stuff instead of just instantly hitting with a nerf hammer. I'm just as surprised at this revelation as like you probably are. Now for the actual TWID. It's just saying that heavy metal is going to return and class identity and some just other random stuff that it doesn't really matter. Heavy metal is going to be returning on September 2nd, leaving September 9. There's going to be a new emblem, a new shotgun, and a new sword available for it. And the emblem's going to be available on rank 5, the sword holofoil is on rank 10, and kinetic shotgun holofoil is going to be on rank 15. There's also going to be a Twitch drop available that gives you an exclusive emblem. Details are going to be on the screen. Now for the class fantasy stuff. For a bit they just yap about what fantasy means to them. I'll throw that on the screen if you're actually interested in reading that. But basically, here's what they're saying, pretty much. For Warlocks, their traits are Battlefield Control, Arcane Abilities, and Ally Empowerment. They say that moving forward, they're going to try to do more to reinforce their identity, and that in the short term, they're going to be working on a way to give Warlocks better build crafting and giving them more ways to have more ability uptime. In the longer term, they want them to have more mobile healing options and a passive benefit to match other classes. Some changes that they're going to be making to Warlock, these are the ones I listed in the TWID, is that the Warlock turrets are going to now count as grenades for stats and perks, and the Empowering Rift is going to generate neutral game ability energy over time. I have no idea what the fuck neutral game abilities are. And that kills while standing in an Empowering Rift are going to generate bonus ammo progress. 50% for special weapons, 10% for heavy weapons. For Titans, they say that they're like moving front lines in that their traits are Aggressive Assault, Damage Mitigation, and Artillery Expert. I don't know what an Artillery Expert means, but I am definitely excited to see what they're going to try to do to reinforce that, as that sounds like something completely unique and something that we've never seen before. They say that going forward, they're going to try to get more Artillery Expert stuff into the kit, and more opportunities to flex their tactician muscles, and in the short term, we're working on some updates to Behemoth abilities, and then longer term, they're going to want to make updates to War Dawn and the Sentinel subclass. I absolutely hate the Sentinel subclass in like its current state. If you watched my Sentinel video, you would know that. And there's also some other things they're going to do, and some upcoming Titan changes that they listed in the TWID are for Howl of the Storm, it's going to now grant 2 melee charges. And they changed the Stasis Crystal spawn pattern and added 4 more of the crystals. And for Bastion, it's going to have a faster cooldown in PvP. For Hunters, they basically just say that they're like slippery little fuckers or whatever. And their traits are Attack, Precision, Infiltration, and Damage Avoidance. They say that going forward, they're just going to give Hunters more ability to actually support people. In that short term, they're going to give Gunslinger an update, and longer term, they're going to address that Night Stalker relies way too much on invisibility, because it absolutely does. That's like the only thing that subclass is like centered around. The changes that they listed in the TWID are for On Your Mark, it's going to give you weapon stats to the weapon handling and reload. It says that the max is going to be 40 weapon stat at 10 stacks, so they're basically just giving you a damage buff instead of like handling and reload like stuff. And their skill stack count to a max of 10 stacks, and precision hits now give 1 stack, precision final blows now give 2 stacks, and precision final blows at 10 stacks now give you Cure instead of Radiance. Golden Gun Deadshot is going to refund ammo on final blows instead of ignitions, and it's also going to extend its duration whenever you get a kill with it. And the duration gain will diminish with final blows, and it also will grant less duration gain in Crucible. Marksman Dodge is also going to reload all weapons on activation as well as pick up nearby ammo bricks too. And that's it for the class identity stuff. They then say that they don't want any class to be like the DPS class, but they also don't want any like builds to be like instant win buttons also basically. But yeah, that's it for the class identity section. Next up is this like art blast thingy for like art station or whatever. I'll link the twit in the description if you actually want to go take a look at that stuff. Some stuff about a lore panel. It already happened by the time we're recording this, so all it has is the VOD, which is again in the TWID. So check the description if you want to look at it or watch it or whatever. Some stuff regarding Destiny Rising, which I don't like it. I think I don't like gotcha games in general, which I don't. I'm playing a looter shooter. It's basically a gotcha game, but I don't care about that. Okay, I just don't like gotcha games. It's basically just an emblem thing where you just got to complete the quest, bear the light in it, and then you'll get a redemption code for the emblem. But that's basically it for that. There's a last call for a Ronald McDonald House charity. Again, link is it's in the TWID. Link is in the description. You get an emblem if you donate $25. I would donate, but I'm broke. And then there's the player support report and some art, and then yeah, that's it. That's the TWID. Let me know your thoughts on it in the description, or I mean, not the fuck you mean the fuck I mean the description. The comments. The comments mean. God, I'm stupid. But yeah, like, subscribe, comment, share, whatever. For Justin Truman's like first TWID, I really, really, really like the direction he's going in. It seems like he's actually listening to player feedback about a lot of stuff that we've had issues with. So that's definitely nice. It does seem like Bungie's actually going in a really good direction. But yeah, that's it for the TWID. So again, like, subscribe, comment, share, and bye.